We could probably end this article right here and right now. All we need to say is that the Samsung Galaxy S8 is superior to last year's model, the Galaxy S7, in every imaginable way. But I guess one can arrive at the same and maybe not quite accurate conclusion without ever having seen either of the two phones. So let's approach this comparison from another angle, by highlighting the key differences between the two, and explaining why they matter. Shall we begin? Design and display. Unbox your phone, that's the theme around which the Galaxy S8 has been designed. Samsung's goal is to break the status quo with its new flagship, to prove that phones can be more than flat, boxy rectangles with flat, boxy displays slapped in the middle. And it seems like its efforts have paid off. The Galaxy S8 is an impressively looking phone, both in photos and in person, and much of the effect is thanks to the curvy nature of the handset. The so-called infinity display visually flows off of the side edges of the device, while its rounded corners nicely complement the body's elegant shape. Of course, the sleek and shiny Galaxy S7 is also a looker, but next to the Galaxy S8, it does indeed look like a previous generation product. But perhaps a curved display isn't the most practical thing in the world. While testing the Galaxy S8's camera, I accidentally pressed the edge of the screen a couple of times, which registered as taps that changed my focus. I doubt that would have happened had I been using the flat Galaxy S7 at the time. And I wonder if the curved Galaxy S8 would fare better than the old-school Galaxy S7 in a drop test. Mind you, there's no flat version of the Galaxy S8, for those who might want one. Interface and functionality. As expected, the Samsung Galaxy S8 and Galaxy S7 have a lot in common on a software level. Both run an up-to-date version of Android, loaded with goodies by Samsung, such as visual and functional tweaks. But only on the newer model you'll find Bixby, Samsung's personal assistant. To be clear, this isn't a feature we got to fully test ourselves, as it is still not ready for a global release, but we were given a demo showing off its abilities. For example, you can use Bixby to scan an object with the camera. If it is a product, such as a bottle of wine or a box of chocolates, you'll be provided a link to Amazon where you can buy one. If it is a place of interest, you'll be provided with information about it. Bixby will be integrated within multiple Samsung apps on the S8 and will be accessed via voice commands or by pressing a button on the side of the phone. As for the Galaxy S7, you should be able to use the Google Assistant once the right software update hits the phone, if it hasn't done so already. Bixby aside, the Galaxy S8 and its software tweaks make it a lot more user-friendly when it comes to side-by-side multitasking. It is the first phone that I can use to text message someone while watching a YouTube video. On other phones, the Galaxy S7 included, the moment you pop up the on-screen keyboard, the YouTube video gets pushed outside of the screen area. Also, Samsung has built in a feature allowing you to select an area of an app which you can pin to the top of your multitasking interface, leaving the rest of the area for other apps. Processor and hardware. This wouldn't have been a proper upgrade without some major changes under the hood. Sure enough, the Samsung Galaxy S8 comes with a Snapdragon 835 or a last-gen Exynos SoC, depending on the market. Either way, you get a 10 nanometers chip that's smaller, more powerful, and more efficient than its predecessors, not to mention the fact that it supports 1 gigabit LTE connectivity. Is that kind of hardware faster than what's inside the Galaxy S7? Of course it is, and while the difference might not become noticeable with everyday tasks, heavier apps and games should perform better on the newer hardware, just as expected. For the record, we were kindly asked not to run any benchmarks on our Galaxy S8 pre-production unit, so we can't share any performance figures at this time. Be patient, friends. Expectations. The Samsung Galaxy S8 is a solid upgrade over last year's Galaxy S7, but some areas have been treated to more attention than others. Most notably, it is the design and the display of the new model that will grab your attention. And once you get a hold of it, you'll be impressed by how usable this 5.8-incher actually is. Of course, the Galaxy S7 is far from obsolete. It shares a significant portion of the S8's DNA, including the metal and glass construction, the shiny finish, and the water-resistant properties. But for a phone that can make heads turn, look no further than the S8. Then come the improvements associated with actually using the phone. It is still too early to say whether Bixby is a useful, practical feature or more of a gimmick, but the enhanced multitasking abilities of the Galaxy S8 versus the Galaxy S7 seem kind of neat. And at a glance, the new UI feels a bit more streamlined, albeit a bit boring. All of this, including the integration of Samsung's peripherals, such as the DeX Station and Gear VR, shape the Galaxy S8 as a milestone in smartphone evolution. But evolution means change, and change often brings new things to adapt to. The omission of the home button is tolerable, but the new placement of the fingerprint scanner is confusing, while the iris scanner and facial recognition features have yet to prove themselves as solid alternatives.